We are officially
One of our favorites. One of our favorites. Always makes the playlist first three for sure.
We run this mother. Who run the world? Girls. Who run the world? Girls. Who run the world?
I had to listen to that twice because I'm like, hey, we can't have any bad language.
Do you see Beyonce back there? That's a Beyonce.
You always got Beyonce around you. I had to bring that in. I'm like, what's going to be the warm-up song today? I'm going to have to think about the warm-up pitch. And I'm like, oh, wait a second. This is kind of like a no-brainer. Hello. Who runs the world?
She painted that. She's an artiste.
So who painted that?
Rebecca.
Get out. I did not know that about you.
I paint for relaxation. It just is a little thing that I do that just brings me so much joy. So I always give my paintings away. I don't charge anybody because I don't want it to be a job. I just want it to be fun.
I 100% can relate to that. Not that I do it, but my daughter does. We were just talking about her in the green room, right? Maddie loves to just paint. It's her zen.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody has like their zen thing that they do, where they go, how they do it, where they do it. And that's great. Look, I got to learn something new about you working with you for all those years. I never knew that you could put a Picasso up on the wall for.
Let's not get crazy. But
I love that. And of course, you found something very creative to paint for her. So what is it? It looks like a statue. Is that what it is? Oh, it's a painting. I can't tell from here.
It's Beyonce when she performed at the halftime show on Christmas Day. And it was the last, it was like her crescendo. She was on this platform that sort of elevated. And
I remember that.
At the very end, it dropped a bang banner. And
Yeah.
so that's Beyonce on her platform with the bang banner.
I love that. That's so cool. Well, listen, I want to throw something at you guys, and I'm going to start with Ab on this one. Kind of get this show rolling today. Ab, the question I have for you for the warm up: which of the following is most likely to happen? Speaking of Beyonce, between now and mid-February of next year. A, Beyonce will win another Grammy. B, Josh is going to win a Lombardi. Or C, Rebecca is going to be on a beach with an umbrella in her drink.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that could happen before like May 1st for Rebecca. So I don't know if we need 6 months.
June 1st, but yes.
Boy, I hope they all win, EP. I want all of those three things to win and happen. And I appreciate you asking me about Josh. My son wants a tattoo of Josh Allen. I said, come back to me when he's won a Lombardi. Then we'll have a conversation around tattoos of Josh Allen.
I was just going to say, has mom approved it? And is it okay? Like, where's their proof? Exactly.
Just like Josh Allen says, you got to get by the champions. Those are the Chiefs. You got to be able to beat the Chiefs.
That is a massive hurdle. So those of you that haven't figured this out, you're going to figure it out by the end of the show. So we're learning new things. Some things new, some things definitely not new. Abigail is a huge fan of the Buffalo Bills. And
we probably have some gear. Here's a Josh Allen figurine right here.
Oh man, is that a bobblehead or a figurine?
Just a figurine. Yeah, that's very bespoke to Buffalonians.
Well, you and I share something in common. I don't know if your kids ever throw this at you, but it usually happens about 3 weeks into every season because I'm a huge Bears fan. Yeah. I get from my son this. Hey, Dad, remind me once again, why do we root for the Bears? Because I'm out in LA. I'm like one of the few guys out here in LA that loves the Bears. 85, right. Grew up, watched them, love them, fridge, shuffle.
I could talk about this all day. Last night, I spent like an hour researching the refrigerator Perry's weight and height because I want a refrigerator Perry in the draft. And his name is Desmond Watson from Florida. And that's who I want. And I believe Desmond Watson's got 100 pounds on the fridge. That's how different it is from 85. I'm in our 100 pounds, 464.
You know, I just had a great idea. We need to do, it's too late. I don't think I can do it because the draft is like, is the draft this week or next week?
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. Oh my gosh.
I think it's tomorrow. It's very soon.
I mean, nobody showed up for this episode today and thought that they were going to get some early potential draft previews but I'm telling you, we've got the talent on the show today that is fierce, right?
It is. I go 30th, and I want Desmond Watson, 464. They call him a space eater. I've started a blog tying this back to fears. I've started a blog called Space Eater as a sort of a synonym for fierce women, space eaters. I can see it as a t-shirt in the future.
Love that.
Watson.
Coin the merch and get that merch. Right. Let's get rolling. Hey guys, hello. My name is EP, and I'm happy to welcome you all to another episode of Epic Hype. Welcome to this adventure. Let's talk about our sponsor today, because yes, I love to sponsor companies, and I'm going to share one out with you right here. Just give me a second. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it takes a little bit of help. And today it's Kendo. Kendo offers an AI native security and autonomous infrastructure for enterprise ops. Kendo brings AI native security and automation to not only the DevOps, the security ops, but your IT ops. Streamline operations, cut alert fatigue, and resolve incidents autonomously with intelligent agents. You guys can hop on over to kendo.ai. And of course, they, will be out at the big dance next week. But let me get my guests introduced properly. I'm super thrilled. I had the idea like a week ago when I got something that popped and whizzed by. I'm like, oh my gosh, I would love to hype this. And they said yes. And I was super excited. They are strong-willed. They are resilient. They are courageous. They are successful. But most of all, they are fierce. Welcome to the show, the co-founders of fiercenow.org, Abigail Maines and Rebecca Cahak.
Thank you, EP. We're happy to be here.
I am happy to have you guys on. And of course, it wouldn't be proper to not give you guys one of these. A little delayed. Don't have a budget yet for an engineer to help you out. So ladies, you both know that I'm a huge fan of your organization. I think it was probably one of the first ones I threw at my daughter, who, as we were talking earlier before we started here, is on the hunt for her internship. And, truth be told, I go to a lot of events and I have a lot of people that reach out to me, and they're always asking me. In fact, I just went to one last week and I'm going to one tonight. I have a lot of the younger crowd. I'll say the ones that are on the edge or are out of college for for 2 or 3 years. And they're asking me, hey, I want to break into cybersecurity. Hey, I want to get into technology. And they always ask me, who can you recommend? And I'm always saying, you've got to network. Network is the best work. And let me give you a few. So on one hand, I can literally count the ones that I throw out there. And you guys are on that hand. Like, I'm always talking about fierce. And, Ab, let's talk about what fierce first and foremost stands for. So go ahead and throw that out. And then I'd love to hear a little bit about the backstory. Like, where did the inspiration come from for you and Rebecca to actually sit back and say, hey, you know what? Let's do this. Let's put this organization together.
Sure. Thank you. FIERCE stands for Females in Every Role Change Everything. It was really born when Rebecca and I were at a company called Checkpoint. And it was March of 2020 when COVID had really sort of sprung upon the world. And at the time, I was responsible for the Americas business, Canada to Brazil. We were having a lot of meetings, a lot of Zoom sessions like this, trying to keep people engaged, people enthusiastic. And what we were finding is that women were really bearing the brunt of COVID. So women had to be Zoom ready. Women had to, maybe teach their children school because they weren't going to school, and maybe their parents had become sick and they were responsible for making sure they were healthy. So we quickly pivoted sort of what we were having in terms of these town halls and all hands into a very targeted women's ERG, frankly. That was fierce. We brought fierce forward publicly in March of 2022, I think. Yes, I think that was the first time we sort of broke it out of an organization. And really what we're focused on is equality in corporate America, equality in academia, and equality in political environments. We do represent more women in education than men. We're about 62%. That is not true for sort of corporate or political environments, but that's our goal. And so we really focus our efforts and our content and our networking on trying to empower and accelerate women to get to that point of equality. I often, and related to sort of the younger generation, but not exclusively to the younger generation, I often say we're a stiletto network, which means we don't care what your title is, how much money you have in the bank. We're very focused on the mission, and the mission is equality, and the mission is acceleration of women. So like, you could be a CEO, you could also be my daughter who's 12 years old, so it's kind of really inclusive.
Yep. I love that. And you know what? I love the fact that this was born out of COVID. Like you,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I know I put some light on. I just realized, why am I so dark on this thing? You guys, a lot of great things came out of COVID, right? I remember sitting back in my first podcast I put together was Epic Starts. I'm like, I know all these startup owners. I talked to all these guys, and I'm like, let's do something. And a lot of good, because we're all doing this, right?
Yeah.
And then you saw everybody, like, how many happy hours did we do on dry happy hours, fun happy hours, just to keep the teams of the
So
sales
many.
teams and channel teams that we all worked with. So I love this because truthfully, it didn't take COVID, but it in a sense for me, and I wonder if you both can relate to this, COVID made us slow down. COVID made us said, what is important in my life? Where are we going? What matters? My family, my friends, my network. And look at you guys 5 years later, rocking it. Rebecca, let's talk about, you have this event. I mean, Fierce Now is turned into where I think you have, is it an annual summit? Is that what you guys call it? Yeah. And
we have an annual women's conference in November in Austin, Texas. This year it will be
Yep.
November 6th and 7th. So
Okay.
Thursday night networking happy hour and then conference all day on Friday. And we have, a combination of keynotes and panels and interviews and plenty of time to network. And it just the way that it's growing organically and creating its own little niche in the world has just been just unbelievable.
it's
And
growing like a snowball. It's getting bigger every year, right?
incredible. It's incredible. And again, the organic piece to it where it has become its own thing and it has an opinion and it says, I want to be this when I grow up. And we go, okay, we listen to her. So she's pretty amazing.
I love that. Now, dumb question, but I have to ask it because I haven't been yet, but I need to know if I can go. Is it female only?
No, you can absolutely go. We do have a few males who show up. Now, keep in mind the content is going to be steered towards
Of course.
issues that women are currently dealing with, and young ladies, and that's part of the organic growth piece of it that I think will just blow your hair back. Last year we had a panel of really young gals. They were the youngest one was a junior in high school. She decided she wanted to start a Fierce chapter in her high school to motivate other young women. And so she was part of the panel. And then we had one gal who's 1 year into her career after an internship with the company, and another girl that was 2 years into her career after an internship with her company. And so for the males that were in attendance, and I think we had about 4, maybe 5 males that were in attendance last year. Again, hair blown back. Everybody was just blown away. But that does not exclude you. That doesn't mean that you can't go, because I do think that there is something you can get out of it, even if it's just listening to what it is that women are struggling with.
I love that you guys, I mean, I can only imagine the reward factor. Ab, you want to talk about that? Like maybe even share a use case of somebody that came in, was out and about, couldn't find a job, or just needed a course, an online course, a person, a mentor, and look at them now. I actually, I follow a lot of people follow me. I follow them, right? And I kind of see things, and I kind of put some pieces together like, oh, I see what's going on. I actually know of one person that I hired on my inside sales team. You might know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
And I remember once upon a time, she walked into my office and she said, EP, love everything I'm learning here. Love all the, I used to have this thing called EP University for the sales team. I would give them all these gold nuggets, and just like, I had the farm. I wanted to have them go out and look at them now. Like so many of them are like rocking enterprise reps. And this one I'm thinking about, she said, I need a mentor. Excuse me. And she said, and preferably a female mentor. And I said, I get it. Like you want, somebody that you can aspire to, that they're doing this and I want to do this and rock right behind them. I actually have a good handful I could talk about on the show, but the one I'm thinking about, I have followed you on social and I see her doing stuff with you, which is so cool because I know she's in her lane. And I mean, feel free to give her a shout. It's up to you, but you want to give like an example of some of the rewarding aspects that you get from Fierce?
Yeah, and I can do like, I could probably do both men and women because we do have allies. I mean, we might have only had 4 at the conference of the 300 people, but they are very powerful allies. And one, interestingly, who has been with us since the beginning, his name is Joy Brodsky. He was an executive recruiter out of Austin, Texas, and he just opened his own practice yesterday. And I can't say enough about how much he has been an influence on us and hopefully vice versa. And when he announced that, I was like, what can we do immediately to help you? So that's like, I'm very proud of that. And that's very fulfilling. On the women in Fierce, I'd say they create a lot of the content, whether they know it or not. So we spend a lot of time riffing with women around some of their headwinds and some of the things that maybe are interfering with their ability to accelerate their careers. Based on their feedback and their input, it's Rebecca and mine's job to sort of put that into a framework or a format that is usable by the entire organization. We have a couple thousand members now to do exactly what we talked about, which is drive equality. And so like, I think of the Yes You Can series, which is a very popular series where basically we're saying stop immediately debating whether you're ready and just put your hand forward. That came from members. I don't have that,
Wow.
as you know, as a personality trait, but almost all the members do. And that awareness of how prevalent and how serious of a headwind that is that we control and we can eliminate came from, riffing with members on that. So I would say everybody in Fierce contributes. We spent a lot of time talking to women that have thinking about the blog that we recently did called Life at a 9, which was basically when a woman was pushing herself to the point where she was basically almost in cardiac arrest, and they were like, wow, a 9 out of 10. And she's telling that story to us, and in a way to empower herself that she got through that and to feel like she's beat it, but also to share, don't live your life at a 9 all the time and ignore these signs. So I can't, like, there's endless amounts of fulfilling things, I would say. And I've been super impressed with the junior that was on our panel last year. I think she stole the show personally. Like, the future is female, and I thought she was the best. And I did the keynote, and I thought she did the best on the stage. So lots and lots of examples, all of which are usually on the website. So like, we do try to capture those nuggets, and whether it's a blog or a video, Joey's got a video, like they're all on the website because we're not trying, and nobody pays anything for Fierce. Just, I should probably say that, like, there's some sponsors that have nothing to do with members.
Nonprofit.
And they just cover our costs.
Yeah. So 100% nonprofit. I love that. Rebecca, let me pitch it back to you. What is some of the advice, whether it's on one-on-ones or it's at your summit or next week at the breakfast, which we're going to get into? What is some of the advice that you share with some of the young women that are coming out of college looking to break into cyber? What are, you've Rebecca, how many RSAs have you done? I'm going to take a stab. A dozen?
Maybe not quite a dozen, but maybe
Close.
half a dozen, maybe,
Right.
yes, 8, somewhere around there.
So those that are breaking into cyber, you guys are going to have gals walking up to you next week at the breakfast. What are some of the blind spots that maybe no one is teaching or preaching about in college that needs to prepare them for what they need to learn before they go forward on this path? Can you share some of that?
Absolutely. Great question. I think a little bit of it is going to have to do with their background, right? So this is where we would get some information from them. So, do you come from a computer science background, or did you come out of school with like a business degree? So if you're missing some of the technical piece of it, there are boot camps, there are certifications that you can do. One of the sites that I personally use a lot is Coursera. It's an online, you can take classes and get certifications and things of that nature. And so I recommend that. And then I think if you are interviewing companies, right? So keep in mind, it's a double street, right? That they get to interview you, but you also get to interview them. So you can also ask them if they have any programs that would provide you with formal mentorships, with sort of a framework of how to best be successful in this role. Things of that nature. And so you get to interview the company, and I highly recommend you do that as well. I think also you can opt into an organization like Fierce, obviously. Okay. But then there's other ones that are like Women in Cybersecurity. I think I can't remember.
Yeah.
It just Women in
that one too.
Yeah, exactly. So so there's lots of there's groups like that you can opt into as well. And I always recommend that you seek out external mentors outside of your company as well. Because they'll give you some extra insight. Sometimes, if you're inside the walls, too many people, you've drank too much of the Kool-Aid, and it's
Right.
specific to inside the walls of that company, and that's great for success inside those walls. But as we're looking across the span of our career, let's make sure that we're keeping a wider lens.
I like that you vetted out. You don't just you didn't just roll out with a blanket statement. Oh, do these 3 things. No, you kind of vetted out. Who am I talking to? What's their personality? Where have they been? Where do they want to go? The one thing that I always say is, okay, first and foremost, you want to get in technology. Huge umbrella. Oh, I want to get into cyber. Huge umbrella. So let's kind of narrow it down. Do you like to code? Do you like to talk to people? Do you not like to talk to people? It's not that you don't like people, but you just prefer to kind of stay in your space. Are you a gamer? Like you game like 3-4 hours a day? That tells me a lot. Or are you somebody that actually wants to be a part of the event and like this event right here, this breakfast, like you'd like to be up there and one of the speakers, you want to be Abigail, you want to be Rebecca. So that at least helps steer. It's not going to happen tomorrow, maybe 5 years, but let's just start doing these steps. Is that, Abby, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, no, it's definitely custom to the person, because it's all, I think in the early days, I probably made an assumption that everybody wanted to do what I want to do. And that's not the right assumption. So we definitely learned from that experience. And people, of course, correct us too. So,
well, and let's face it. I mean, when Josh was playing ball in college, did he think he would be where he's at right now on the edge of getting so close? Hell, even working in the NFL, the chances of getting to the NFL are insane, and then the chances of getting to the dance is insane. So, we should all pat ourselves on the back for what we're doing, and definitely for what you ladies are doing. Let's talk about what you're doing next week. Next week, keep me right on this. I'm going to share it out. The breakfast. So obviously I put out there to everybody that you guys have a breakfast going on, kind of a big deal. I want to talk about it, and I'm going to bring up a screen here in just a second. Please work for me. View. I've got a great tab on it. I'm probably just going to have to remove it and put it back up. Sorry, guys. There it is. So I don't know, Abigail, you want to start off and just kind of like lay out what's happening? It's public. Anyone can sign up for this. Where do they go and what's going to happen?
Yep. So we have our 3rd annual Fierce Breakfast at RSA, a big cyber conference, co-sponsored by 1011 Ventures. Megan Dubofsky over there has been a huge advocate for Fierce. So we love her and thank her and everyone at 1011. And basically the breakfast is characterized by networking and incredible authenticity. So there's no pitches. There's no prepared content. The objective is between 8 and 10 o'clock in the morning, you come, you get coffee, and you get your breakfast on your way into or out of a meeting, and you meet everybody that's there. So historically, we've had just over 100 people come and go through the doors every RSA. And what I've heard from people after the fact, like for example, I was talking to a person at AWS, and an ally, he said, I met XYZ VC there last year, and that by itself made all of RSA for me. So it's really a powerful networking event. And why I think it's powerful is because there are no pitches. And it's very much, I think part of the Fierce brand is very authentic, very direct, very transparent. It's very not political. We are not like motherhood and apple pie, women empowerment, like we're a real deal women empowerment. And so the breakfast is a marquee event for that. And so you can come for as little or as long as you want. Everybody is welcome. It's at a restaurant called Mariposa, which is obviously butterfly, but more interesting.
That's what I call my daughter. I love that.
Yeah,
that's my nickname for my daughter.
Allie is from Buffalo, and she's a Bills fan.
I love that. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to tell my daughter. I didn't know that was the name of the restaurant. And that's so for those of you who don't know, I'm this is my daughter's first time. I'm bringing her out, and I told Abigail and Rebecca, hey, I'm bringing my daughter to this RSA event, and I'm bringing her a breakfast. So I want to just throw her into it. Intern ready, hot commodity. Looking forward to that. So here's something I love that's up on the screen right now, and it's one of the descriptives, I guess, of this event. It's happening from 8 to 10 in the morning. 8 o'clock in the morning. I love this because it's early, and I think if so many people that don't pace themselves, they go too hard on Tuesday. They're tired, fatigued. They don't slow down, slow their roll, or can't even get up the next day or miss out on so much. 8 o'clock to get up, to be ready. I'm laughing because I got to tell the story. There's an SKO once upon a time, and it was for the executive team, and we put Abigail in charge of a bonding event, team bonding.
I had that picture. I wish I had the picture right now.
OMG. I roll up at about 6:15 to this thing called Barry's Boot Camp. Barry's Boot Camp. And I got to throw names out there because I have to.
Quite an illustrious group. Gabe
Deal and I were laughing. So first of all, I'm sitting there going, who are the guys that are going to be able to do this? I think I can get through it. But there's some guys I'm very concerned about for their health. I think Craig Whetstone was there. Gabe, you're gonna have to help me. I can't remember everybody was
Daniel
there.
Bernard was there.
Yes. It was insane. And the reality is we had a 60-minute non-stop cardio. I am going to make you fall. And oh my God, we did. But here's the best part. Man, did I feel good at 7 o'clock in the morning.
We can do a berries before the breakfast if you want on Wednesday.
No. But I love how this is early. I love how people are going to, by 10 o'clock, already be fueled with knowledge and inspiration. And then at 10 o'clock, the doors open over across the way at Moscone, and you've already fueled them with a lot of fantastic knowledge. So I love this. And thank you for putting that out. Okay. Where do people go to sign up for the breakfast? Again, it's Wednesday. Where do they go?
If they go on our LinkedIn, Rebecca's, myself, or Fierce, you will see the registration link available. It's right in a post.
Excellent day. All right. So we got the basic information everybody needs. And if you guys need more, obviously you can reach out to one of these two ladies.
Yeah.
All right. I just put it up a minute ago. I'm going to bring it up one more time. Aside from the breakfast, I always like to give props out to things that you guys are doing. So aside from the breakfast, I'll try to get it back. Just give me a second here. It's on one of these screens.
Are you pulling up the panel, or should I hype the
I'm actually going to bring up your book. I want to talk about what else you got going on.
Well, before we get to the book, thank you for that opportunity. Yeah. Oh, there it is. There's my dad and my daughter. Before we talk book, which I'll do one second, I am also hosting a panel on Wednesday at RSA. It does require a full conference badge, but it's called Women in Cyber, Accelerating Competitive Advantage and Customer Loyalty. I'm joined by amazing people from AWS, GuidePoint Security, and Human Security, and that is at 225 in Moscone West, room 3018. 3018. So
3018, Moscone West.
Moscone West. But you do have to have a full badge. A lot of people have tried to register and realize it's not an expo badge only. So please join us if you can. So Abigail's amazing. Dad, a lot of people ask me over the last X amount of years that I've been alive, you know, what inspires you, Abigail? What makes Abigail Abigail? And then at the end of the day, it was Wilson Maines. Unfortunately, he passed away early in his life at the age of 60, but my dad is by far the biggest inspiration in my world. And so this book is all about being reared by him, really from the age of like maybe elementary school through my first corporate jobs. Because to be honest with you, I might have been wildly naive, but I really didn't see or experience any sort of misogyny or double standards or anything like that until my first job. That went all the way through MBA school. I felt like very much an equal in every environment, which does kind of play out with the data. That's what the data does show. It does show that women also stay in academia more than come out in fields like cyber and fields like finance. I'm a finance person. It feels like AI. They do stay in academia, but the book is great. It's very much targeted towards girls. I would say probably from kindergarten through 6th grade. There's a page at the back that you fill out. You as the dad would fill out, EP, for your daughter. I love that. And just sort of give her some, I don't know, some testimonials or things you would want her to be able to like pick up and look at in a moment when she needs some hype. Super and cool. So, thank you for the opportunity to share.
Super really cool. Fun. Yeah. I love the part you have in the back for the interaction, because think about it. Any young girl that gets that book, as she gets older, she's going to pass it down. Right. And then she gets to show her daughter or son, her daughter, look what grandpa did. Like,
Right.
is that? Yeah, I
I
love
wish
it.
I had it. That's why I did it.
That
Because
is so
I know what
cool.
my dad would say, but like had he been able to write it down, it would have been much more meaningful.
I absolutely love
Yeah.
that. All
The
right.
work
So let's
piece.
keep this train moving, guys. We're 30 minutes in. It feels like we've only been talking for a
Yeah.
few minutes. You guys want to play a little game? I put something fun for you together, and it's
We have
called.
an option, EP, or
Yeah, no, you don't have an option. You don't have an option. It's called this or that. So next week,
Okay.
we're going to be at RSA, and I started thinking about let's have some fun. Let's talk about things that you have some choices. Do I want to go do this or do I want to do that? It's kind of like you're gonna go see Ab in Moscone West. You're gonna go over to East. In fact, I gotta tell you, I always think North South. I forgot that they even have an East and a West. So it's a massive city. It's a massive event, and I put some stuff together that I thought would be fun. So let me bring in the next slide. So what you guys need to do is you need to basically just say this or that. Which one do you guys prefer out of the ones I put up on the screen, such as this or that? SFO or Oakland? Which one are we flying into? The one with delay drama or the one that is a true hidden gem if you don't know about it?
delay drama because it's direct from Austin.
Ditto. 1,000.
I was going to say there are some preferences based on what airport you have and who they fly directly into. So there is a little bit of a preference with that one. All right, next one. Cable car or electric scooter? Hey, let me just throw this out there. Those, because I love the Bird and the Lime scooters. And I took my first ride on these things, I don't know, 5 years ago. It was actually, no, I take it back. It was actually with my son at ATX, Austin City Limits.
Yeah.
And that was 10 years ago. And it was awesome in the city of Austin. In the city of LA or in the city of San Francisco, are you kidding me? So guys, be careful if you're going to pick up on one of these scooters and just think you're going to haul down the road. Cable car, that might be something. Ladies, your take?
Yeah. I've seen people have the horrific accidents on the scooters. So I'm a cable car girl from this option.
I'm a leader. I'm going to walk it. I'm going to get 25,000 steps a day.
Of course you are. All right, next one I got up is the Golden Gate Bridge or the Bay Bridge. Iconic selfie or commuter grind?
Yeah. Golden Gate. I love it. It's historic. I love it.
You guys ever walk
I
it?
would agree. Golden Gate. I'm going to run it. I'm going to try to run it this year for the first time. I haven't run it before.
You haven't run it, but have you walked across the entire thing?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe that might need to be the Fierce Run event the day before the Fierce Breakfast.
I know. I know.
Could be an option. All right. Well, you heard her talking about keynotes earlier. Do we go with the keynote or the vendor hall? Inspiration or free swag raid?
I would say vendor just because I tend to run into people that I haven't seen in forever. But I do love me a good inspirational keynote.
I agree with Rebecca. That's why we're co-founders together. I would say definitely not for free swag. I don't want anybody's swag. I got to be honest with you. EP, I'm old. I'm an old lady now. Can't do the swag unless there's some really good inspiration.
No more squeezies. No more. I don't have it. It's upstairs. The spinner. Oh my God, guys, landfill. That's all I gotta say.
And if you carry your luggage on versus checking it, like there's no space for anything anyways. And it's all,
totally.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's no space in the earth. We don't need any more landfill.
Exactly.
But I will say this. I do want a Fierce shirt.
Yes, I'll bring you a Fierce shirt. And I will
wear it on the show. I love that. All right, next one. Let's go to CISO panel or AI demo. Buzzword bingo or actual fear of Skynet.
Oh boy.
I mean,
well, it depends
who
who it is.
Go back to the killer scooter. I think I'll try a scooter.
Let's go scootering. No, I mean, I think it's interesting to hear from CISOs just to see what things they are concerned about today, because that makes you better in your job. I mean, AI demos, sure, yeah. Yeah.
And I mean, listen, we all know that there's some great CISOs that speak fantastic. They're just really good storytellers, right? And then there's others.
I'd rather have a dinner and a drink with that person.
Thank you. Yeah, right. And then there's other ones where it's a really smart individual, but unfortunately, the message is a little dry. So that's why you need to reach out and get somebody to help you with some of those marketing and branding things. All right, going on. Zero trust or full trust in the free Wi-Fi. Best practice or risky clicky?
No risky cookie for me.
No risky clicky. Are you guys taking your burner phones?
No.
I know that you should train us, EP, not to do that. I think I'm a risky clicky because I do use the Wi-Fi when I go. I even do it at Black Hat.
So, I mean,
Don't
listen,
tell
at the end of the day,
And she's Android. Woo.
and I will say that same thing. Just stay off the Bluetooth, keep the Bluetooth off, and just be very, very careful. That's what I say. But yes, we've all been trained to take the burner and stay off Wi-Fi, stay off Bluetooth, because we are a statistic at the end of the day. How many can you get? And there are a lot of hackers and ethical hackers at this event. All right, swaggy hoodie or branded socks? Startup chic or a cryptographic cozy? You guys like the socks? I mean, we just got done talking about no swag, but some of the swag is actually useful, I will say.
In these options, I would go startup chick. I would say personally.
She's going for the chic look.
I know the socks are popular. I think there could be a demographic separation here.
It's called men. I don't care for the socks whatsoever. So sure, I'll take it. But I can't fit it in my bag, so it would technically go to the housekeeper of whatever hotel I was at.
Exactly. Wait till you guys see the swag I'm going to be sporting. Kendo's doing 2 events offsite at the Flatiron and also another one at the Oasis Grill. Oasis Grill is going to be for White Rabbit Neo, their LLM, and it's going to attract all the coders, all the ethical hackers, and they got black hoodies with rabbit ears.
Cool.
And they really do stand up. So I'm gonna have some fun with that one. I'll plug for that one. Yeah. Speaking of plugs, I want you guys to get some plugs out and help people that want to find you guys. I think you put the breakfast out there, Abigail, but can you throw out if somebody wants to follow you guys individually? Why don't you guys each go? Where do they find you? Throw the website out once again, or how do they find you on LinkedIn or anywhere else?
Yes, sure. Fiercenow.org is the website, and everything is linked from there in terms of all the events and all of the different ways to follow us. And I would say LinkedIn is probably our most prolific social media platform. I'm not going to say it out loud on this call. Maybe people come back. We are announcing something more significant in the summer for Fierce content, but that's very confidential, and everybody would have to be under NDA. So more to come on that. I don't know, Rebecca, what else would you say to follow us?
That's a tease right there. You're teasing us.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, definitely LinkedIn is where we are the most active. We have just recently added to the website a video tab. So we've been doing some webinars, and we will continue that for the remainder of this year. Every month we'll add a new webinar. And we do a little bit on Instagram. I think if you follow Ab and I as individuals on the Instagram, you get a little bit more, just because it's so much work to then go back and do it again, specific for Fierce. And then Ab actually does a good job on TikTok. So you can follow her on TikTok. And she
Ab's on TikTok. Look at you.
Yeah, really,
maybe she can teach me a few things. I got to learn how to get some followers over there. That's good. Yeah.
It's fun.
She does great little bites of little bites of just wealth over on.
How do we find you on TikTok?
I think everything is like Fierce Now.
Okay.
_org. Yeah.
Okay. So I can go to the Fierce website and click on TikTok, the logo.
Exactly.
Good for you for making that easy. I'm literally having a new website designed as we speak. And I said, man, make this easy peasy.
That's the key for sure.
It is the thing. All right. Well, hey, you guys got to hear how to get with these ladies and get more information. The breakfast. I can't wait to be there next week. By the way, ladies, love to help you out any other way, moderating a panel, helping you get another hype out for your summit later in the year. Anything I can do. You guys know I'm a big fan of what you guys are doing. I'm super excited to get my Maddie introduced to you guys next week and kind of throw her in and start consuming all the information. So do you guys have fun?
Thank you so much. Thank you for being such a supporter. You have been a supporter from day one. Thank you.
Yes,
absolutely.
We love it. We appreciate it. And we wish the best for your daughter and the generations coming behind her.
I love that, and I appreciate those words, and I appreciate you guys helping her out with anything you can do, and pointing her to anybody out there that you think she'd be a great asset to. So let's close this thing down because we're about 40 in, and people have things to do and people to see. To actually get more information, let me give you the intel for that. Here we are plugging everything. Might as well plug myself. You guys can go to Epic Starts. That's Epic Starts with EP to find more information and follow some of my Epic Hype episodes. That's Epic Starts with EP. And you can also find more entertaining episodes and clips on YouTube. You can search YouTube, go search for Epic Hype Show, and please be sure to give us one of those thumbs up and a subscribe. That's a wrap, tied up with a bow. My name is EP. And this is Epic Hype, reminding all of you that everything epic starts with EP.